This video is about firewalls, and we've built quite a base of concepts to be able to understand what firewalls are. In the previous video, we also looked at NAT. Now, we also understand how IP addresses work, how traffic works on the internet. All of that learning will help us to understand what firewalls are. Now, I'm sure you've already used firewalls. You probably have some experience with them. You probably understand how they work, or at least you have an intuition of how they work and you want to formally learn about firewalls. So let's take a slightly deeper look into firewalls. Now, a firewall is a security system that monitors and controls network traffic based on a set of security rules. Okay, so main thing to note here is monitoring and controlling network traffic. That's all it does. Firewalls sit between a trusted network, like let's say your private network, and an untrusted network, which could be the entire internet. So all requests coming from an untrusted network like the internet coming into your private network will be monitored and controlled. So it sits between them. This is what literally the diagram shows. So you have the public network and you have your internal network. This could be your company's network or your home network, and the firewall actually sits between them. So what do firewalls do? Firewalls decide whether to allow incoming and outgoing traffic to pass through, and they can be built into the hardware, the software. We're interested in the software one, obviously, or a combination of both. The term firewall is actually borrowed from a construction practice of building walls in between or through the middle of buildings to contain a fire. Literally comes from the physical world. So the first video in this series, by the way, if you don't know, this video is actually part of a long going system design series of concepts. Make sure you watch them all. The first video in this series, we talked about how system design is actually inspired from the real world, and we take many real world concepts into system design, into software, and firewall is one such concept. So similarly, network firewalls work to contain online threats. So as you can see here, this is what our firewall does, and we are looking at all the traffic that's coming into our private network from the internet. And also some of them are actually malicious attackers. So the primary use case for a firewall is actually security. So firewalls can intercept incoming malicious traffic before it reaches the network, as well as prevent sensitive information from leaving the network. Firewalls can also be used for content filtering, as you can see. So for example, a school can configure a firewall to prevent users on their network from accessing adult material. So you must have seen when you were in a school or in a college, you were only able to access a few sites. You couldn't access the entire internet, especially the infamous sites, or some of them could be adult websites. You couldn't actually access them. And that was because of how the firewall was set up. And similarly, in some nations, the government uses a firewall that can prevent people inside that nation state from accessing certain parts of the internet. Like they say about countries like North Korea, where the people are not allowed to access the internet. So you have your users, you have your router. The router actually hits the content filter security cloud, which is basically your firewall, and that's how you actually access the internet. So a firewall is a security system that monitors and controls network traffic based on a set of security rules. Firewalls usually sit between a trusted network and an untrusted network. So we've seen all of these things. We are just summarizing all of that here. Oftentimes the untrusted network is the internet. So now we have quite a good idea about what firewalls are. Now we can get deeper and we can learn about different types of firewalls. So the first one is something called as stateful firewall. Now a stateful firewall saves information regarding open connections and uses this information to analyze incoming and outgoing traffic rather than inspecting each packet. So it's just looking at the incoming and outgoing traffic at, let's say, a 10,000 feet perspective. It's not inspecting each packet. We'll have firewalls later on that actually do that, but a stateful firewall does not. It just saves information, right? So that's why it's stateful. It's saving the state. Because they don't inspect every packet, stateful firewalls are faster than proxy-based firewalls. So let's learn about what proxy-based firewalls are. Now, we've understood that there's something called as stateful firewalls, which do not inspect each packet, but they save information regarding open connections, right? So that much is clear. Now let's learn about proxy firewalls, which we just mentioned that stateful firewalls are faster than proxy firewalls. So what are proxy firewalls? So let's look at this diagram. So it shows an internal network, connection request, and a proxy firewall, an isolated connection initiated by firewall. So here, what you can see is the connection, isolated connection, is being initiated by a firewall. What does that even mean? Let's actually dig down deeper. So clients connect to the firewall, and the firewall inspects the outgoing packets. So each of the outgoing packets is being analyzed and inspected, right? So we learned here, this one does not do that, right? The stateful firewall was not doing that. but the proxy firewall actually looks at every single packet. After which it will create a connection to the intended recipient, which could be the web server that you're trying to access on the open internet. Similarly, when the web server attempts to send a response to the client, so the client actually makes a request and the server sends back a response. So whenever the web server is attempting to send back a response to the client, the firewall will intercept that request and inspect the packets and then deliver that response in a separate connection between the firewall and the client, right? So the separate connection thing is important. A proxy-based firewall effectively prevents a direct connection between the client and server. So all that you need to take away from this is that a proxy-based firewall inspects all the outgoing packets, all right, and effectively prevents a direct connection between the client and server. That makes sense. And also it delivers a response in a separate connection between the firewall and the client. And this is what we saw in the diagram as well. I said that the connection, another connection, a new connection, is initiated by the firewall. So it's sending the response in a separate connection, which is between the firewall and the external network. So it never really allows the two parties to be connected. The firewall is initiating the connection. So that just makes it very, very effective and secure. I want to take a quick minute to share something very important with you. As you move up in your engineering career, DSA and coding become less and less important, and system design becomes more and more important. To the extent that if you're going for a director, VP, or CTO position, the only thing they're checking for are your system design skills, because they assume that since you've spent so much time in the industry, you're very good with coding and DSA. Now, there are many resources on the internet for basic system design, but there isn't much for advanced level system design or using system design skills to actually work with complex systems. And this is why I've built a 3-month advanced system design cohort. If you're someone who has some experience in the industry and you resonate with this problem statement, you might want to fill the form that's in the comments and in the description of this video. 20 people have already joined up in this cohort. We'll check to see if you're a good fit once you fill the form, and we'll set up a time with you. Now let's get back to the video. But there's a problem. Obviously, a major drawback of a proxy-based firewall is that it can cause latency, particularly during times of heavy traffic. Now, there are firewalls called as next-gen firewalls. They're just more modern. They're the ones that are being used right now. So what all do you have in the next-gen firewall? So you have deep packet inspection. This deep inspection can look at things like packet payloads and which application is being accessed by the packets. This allows the firewall to enforce more granular filtering rules. Then you have application awareness. Enabling this feature makes the firewall aware of which applications are running and which ports those applications are using. So what we're saying here is the firewall is actually a little bit more intelligent. Okay, it knows which applications are running, right? And it knows which ports are being used by those applications. And this basically can protect against certain type of malware that aim to terminate a running process and take over its port. So sometimes when an application, like let's say a Golang project is running on port 8080 or Next.js is running on port 3000, there could be a malware, a specific type of malware that tries to shut down this application and take over that port. And a next-gen firewall, because it's so intelligent and it's more aware about the applications that are running, it knows that there's something like this could happen and can prevent that before it happens. And the previous one, in case you didn't understand the deep packet inspection one, was that because this firewall was looking at different packet payloads and which of the applications were being accessed by these packets, the firewall was intelligent enough to enforce more granular filtering rules that, hey, these packets are accessing these applications, so they can't basically access the other applications and so on. And then you have identity awareness. This lets a firewall enforce rules based on identity. So identity is like authentication, you know that. So such as which computer is being used and which user is logged in, etc. So the firewall is a bit more intelligent. It knows what the users are doing. In the previous one, it knew what the applications are doing and also knew what the packets are doing, right? So it's just intelligent at all these different layers. Then you also have sandboxing. So firewalls can now isolate pieces of code associated with incoming packets and execute them in a sandbox environment to ensure they're not behaving maliciously, right? So you can take these packets and put them in a sandbox to test them out to ensure that they're not malicious packets. And the results of the sandbox test can then be used as criteria when deciding whether or not to let the packets even enter the network or not. So instead of letting the packets do their own thing, we sandbox them, we test them out, and the results from this test define whether we should let these packets into the network or not. The next thing we have is a WAF or a WAF, or however you pronounce it. The full form is Web Application Firewall. This is the one you would most commonly set up if you work on web applications or on the cloud. Right, so Web Application Firewall. So let's see what all it does. So traditional firewalls help protect private networks from malicious web applications, WAFs help protect web applications from malicious users. A WAF helps protect web applications by filtering and monitoring HTTP traffic between a web application and the internet. It typically protects web applications from attacks like cross-site forgery, cross-site scripting, XSS, file inclusion, SQL injection, and many others. So we've learned about next-gen firewalls. So all of these features can be in just one firewall, or these can be 4 different types of firewalls, right? We've learned about web application firewalls, proxy firewalls. We've learned also about the stateful firewalls, right? So we learned about many different types of firewalls apart from understanding what firewalls do. Like, for example, they can be used for content filtering. They can be used for intercepting traffic, controlling traffic, right? And we also learned how firewall is a concept taken from the physical world. So now we have a great understanding of firewalls. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.